one of these days, I promise, we're going to cut and let you guys see Kate dancing before we come on.
Oh, yeah.
Every time. I mean, the girl is like, girlfriend's cutting it down. Like, I mean, just a few minutes ago, I'm like, Kate, we got like 10 seconds. You got to sit down. She's like, but when the rhythm gets you, I can't stop. So one of these days, they're just going to let it happen.
And how many of you actually believe that?
Kate, I'm telling you, the people need to know these things. They need to see the other side of you. They need to see the other side. And they could see that side of you, and it could be life-changing.
It's okay.
I'm telling you, one of these days, we're just going to have to...
But we have you. That's enough.
But, you know, people already expect me. So, see, Kelsey said she was too. Bust a move. Come on, I'm telling you. We need Kate to bust a move. Everyone always expects me to be
Well, that's just
goofy.
your place. That's just...
But every once in a while, I feel like we should
little
shake it up.
niche.
I think we should shake it up. I think we should just see it happen. So, that is our right at home... what's the word? Our right at home bucket list.
The switch roles.
Yes. Oh, yes. I am all for that. Switching roles. One of these nights. That would be awesome. So, anyways, hello. Oh, God. Sister Cheryl's already got me checkmated. All right. So what's up, everybody? I know if you're from the Maryland area, today was a very nice, sunny day.
It was.
So I'm sure a lot of you, a lot of our regular Right at Home attendees are probably slow to get on tonight because they're enjoying the beautiful sunshine.
And that's okay, because we haven't gotten many of them.
Hey, Rose, we haven't seen you. It looks like... At least you haven't commented in a couple weeks, so it's good to have you back. Sometimes I know that some people are on, but they don't comment, so I don't want to assume people weren't there, but it's great to have people commenting. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. And then Frances, always with such beautiful, inspirational words. She is the queen
Frances,
of the shout-out.
Mm-hmm.
So, how you doing, John? Good to have you tonight.
It is.
So
one of our regular watchers on Sunday morning.
Oh, he is?
Yes, I don't believe we've had the pleasure of meeting you, but we have. I've noticed Sunday mornings he's one of our regulars.
Well, hello, John. Nice to have you. I don't know who's watching Sunday mornings.
I don't know. So, John, if you've been on before, I apologize, but this is the first time I've seen you on Right at Home. I could be wrong, but welcome.
Okay, I don't know. Sunday morning is a different setup. So, oh, that's funny. Michelle says we are the Right at Homies. We don't have the same setup on Sunday morning, so I can't see. So if you watch Sunday morning, and I don't know you watch Sunday morning, my wife tries to keep me up to date who watches, but I don't have the screen on Sunday morning.
I don't try to keep you up to date.
No, but like if we see something mighty new,
faces and
we try to make sure everyone feels.
I don't have like a notepad saying, okay, I'm not one of those.
Bob is back. What's up, Bob, from beautiful Florida?
Oh, hello.
And by the way, shout out to Sister Doolin.
Yes,
she got the job done yesterday.
Yes, on her move. Her home is so lovely.
She's watching us from the new compound, a.k.a. Doolin Land. She is now officially neighbors to her son and daughter-in-law.
I know. We're so excited for you guys. That's awesome.
That's a huge thing. Anyways, all right. So, if you're joining us tonight and you weren't a part of last week, we're sort of in this... Well, I don't even know how it got started, honestly. But I think it's sort of morphed into this almost like a social experiment. Oh, that's great, Josie Newhagen. Awesome, that's great. I'm glad to have you hanging out with us.
That's wonderful.
Appreciate it.
Oh, I love Josie.
That's
She's so
awesome.
Sweet.
So, John, it's great to have you.
Yes, welcome.
And we will meet with you guys one day. So it is awesome to have you. Anyways, so if you're just joining us tonight, you weren't a part of last week. We're sort of in the middle of this. I don't know if it's like a quasi experiment. I don't know. It was actually quite interesting last week, where we're trying to sort of. Oh, Joe said it's not Sort of. We are deep. Okay. Yeah, we are deep in it too. So we're trying to kind of like have this sort of somewhat interesting conversation of who is the most relatable Bible character of the 21st century, minus Jesus Christ, obviously. So we took Jesus out of the equation because he should always win. And I was shocked last week. We kind of broke it up into two categories of the Old Testament, and then we're going to two in the New Testament. So even if you're new and you don't really know all the biblical characters, you'll probably recognize at least some of them. And we'll try to give a little bio to all of them so you can kind of understand.
But also, I do believe, though, it's kind of bringing, because we're not trying to, for those of you that weren't on in the beginning, we're not trying to be, disrespectful to any of the characters. And obviously, and each person has their own specific role and their own specific uniqueness to what they brought. However, it's just, I think it just kind of brings the Bible a little bit more real to our lives, and it's good to see the different perspectives on who teaches, who kind of speaks to, or I guess whom speaks, who speaks to whom, so to speak.
Whom. It was whom.
So it's not a critique. It was just kind of interesting because especially for those of us, and this means I think a little bit more to the Antioch West Antioch family, because in our church our church has been very vocal about certain people. I hate to say characters because that connotates that they're not real. I apologize.
No.
The certain people in the Word of God there were certain big people that were a focal point, but this is kind of neat to be able to see not only the perspective of different ministers, but also your perspective and who really, I guess, speaks to you and whose life and how it touches you. So it's not necessarily competition on who's the best, because obviously they all play their own unique roles. But it's just kind of neat to be able to, I guess, discuss this.
It was actually really fascinating. No, it was really fascinating.
Just to kind of give some clarity for those of you that are jumping on that haven't been on with us, like for instance John, just to
or Bob. Bob, you weren't here last week, but
this is in no way to critique anyone or any person in the Word of God. It wasn't that.
The really cool thing to me was there were some really fantastic points of view made last week about certain sort of viewpoints on different people in the Bible. And again, we kind of removed the theological, not to use that kind of word here right at home. We're getting really deep now. But we removed the theological aspect of it, and we just got to relatability. And we really had some interesting back and forth with some, sort of famous people in the Bible that kind of got pushed to the side for more nondescript. And I think it was Bailey that said it last week. I really thought it was a really good point Bailey made, and that was sort of this idea that, and there's nothing wrong with this. This is not a right or wrong thing at all. It was sort of how much time we spend on sort of the major key players, but when it comes to relatability, it's the one-offs in Scripture where, to use a more modern term, it's the one-hit wonders, sort of not the Oneaters, the one-hit wonders. I want to see if anybody got that joke.
Hopefully not.
It's the one-hit wonders that really speak to yes, we all do remember. We're going to leave that where it lies. That's under the blood now, Kelsey. We let it stay under the blood. But what's really cool is sort of the relatability of it. So without further ado, because last week I didn't realize we were trying to go 45 minutes and we went an hour and 10. So it didn't really work out. So I do have one bone to pick about one of the ones that we kind of talked about after it was over with, and I'll get to it in a minute.
Okay. Because
I wonder if we could sort of revisit it again, to kind of, not that we're going to change it. Oh, your mother threw me under the bus. Thank you for that.
Of course, Mom.
So recap where we were last night. We had last week to get to where we are tonight, and then hopefully we'll get this part done and we'll move into part 2. But Abraham defeated Rahab. This sounds really funny to say. Job destroyed Joel. Joseph beat Saul. Daniel beat Deborah. Jacob lost to Shad, Meshach, and Abednego. Judah lost to Isaiah. Sarah lost to Solomon. And on a major turn of events, Adam and Eve got destroyed by Samson. I mean, it wasn't even close.
I think everyone had a little bit of
Yeah, had some angst towards Adam and Eve.
Adam
Apparently,
and Eve kind of blew it for everybody.
we haven't put it under the blood yet. So from there, Job just crushed. Again, we're talking about relatability, but Job destroyed Abraham. I mean, he wasn't even close in the voting last week.
Was it that much?
Yeah, Job was he was a shoo-in.
Yeah.
Joseph defeated Daniel. Solomon lost to Samson. And then the one why it kind of, this is the one we talked about later after it was all done. Isaiah lost to the Hebrew boys. And I know we're talking about relatability, and some of you made some tremendous comments about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego standing up against persecution, peer pressure, all that was wonderful. But I wonder in your daily life, when you're going through things, how much the words of Isaiah are relatable to you more than the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And you made that statement, that there's so many things in Isaiah that are, as a character may not be relatable, but his words are extremely relatable to us. And really, I mean, his words about Jesus, and man, this is a complete, we're getting really deep for right at home. And I don't even, we're usually
That's
like,
okay.
we're talking about pancakes and waffles, and now we're getting deep into, but
this is good.
But you made the point, and I thought it was really good, when it comes, even though in some ways, yes, the Hebrew boys are somewhat relatable, Isaiah, in relatability of getting you through every day, has meant more to you with different, even the one like, they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength, they shall mount up with wings as eagles, they shall run and not be weary, they shall walk and not faint. I mean, these are kind of,
Yes, for me.
Yeah, for you.
I'll just speak for me.
Right.
That was me.
And then the other one was sort of like the idea.
Because I don't go into the Bible and read about and I don't.
Right.
I mean, their initial, what they did, yes, but the everyday in my life, and that has definitely ministered to me more.
Right. And then the other part about it is sort of like you said, he was bruised for, I think Jared brought the scripture in last week, bruised for our transgression, by his stripes where we are healed. So again, I don't want to change the voting. It's already in, but that was sort of the one that kind of, when I thought about it, the ultimate upset. So anyways, so we have two quick matchups to get decided tonight. So if you're joining it, everybody can have a say. Go ahead.
Kelsey was going back to Sarah of last week and said that, and it was true, and I had forgotten that as well, Kelsey, but I think poor Sarah had kind of gotten, and it probably was my fault.
Yeah, Kate kind of put Sarah under the bus from the start. She couldn't recover.
I'm sorry. So I'll take that hit on that one, but my apologies, Kelsey. But that is a very valid point.
I think
she made it into the faith of Hebrews 11.
Which for all of us, I mean, this is really good stuff, guys. And I know usually right at home, you guys like fun and goofing off, and that's what we like to do as well. But this is really kind of actually uplifting, because I think there's so many people that you would not imagine would have the impact, but when you look at their story in relation to where we are today, it lends more of an understanding to the power of your testimony. But anyways.
But still, Kelsey, not to get on that, it
Wow.
just bugs me how Sarah she gave up too quickly.
I'm hiding on this one.
I don't know. I still wouldn't have voted for Sarah.
Oh.
I think that's just why I'm thankful for God, because he sees past all of that. But I don't know. You would think Abraham, I don't know. It kind of bummed me out that she gave up so quickly. Sorry. I couldn't vote for her.
Oh, she was paired against Solomon, which
I think we should have paired woman to woman. I think it might have been given a little bit more of a fair shot, I think.
But it was just sort of the idea. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
All right, so here we go. One, you get a vote. Everybody gets a vote. Not like last week where some tried to vote multiple times. You got one vote. So tonight's first matchup is the Hebrew boys versus Samson. And Esteban comes strong with Samson already. And Samson's sort of the ultimate redemption story, right? If you don't know the story of Samson, he gets all these powers from God, then kind of sells them on the cheap, and then finds his way back to a place of forgiveness, and ends up kind of bringing the house down, so to speak. He brought the house down, but so far it's 3-1 there, 3-2, 4-2, and I'm surprised that the Hebrew 4-3. I'm really 5-3. I can't really get 6-3. James Keller coming strong. 7-3. Caleb Roberts voting again. Good to see you, Caleb. 7-4. 7-5. 7-6. 8-6. 8-7. Wow. 8-7. 9-7. 10, 9-8. 9-9. Okay. 10, 11, and 9. Hebrew boys take a slight lead. The Hebrew boys 12-9 have a 3 vote lead. That's good. That's true. I like that, Randy. Very good. 13, 10.
It was Randy. Sorry, Randy.
13-10, 14-10, 15-10. Looks like the Hebrew boys are going to pull away at this. So it's a 15-10.
Weren't the Samson was winning?
No, it's tied up, and then 15, 11. Good to have you, Jeff.
I know it
We're
is.
praying for you.
We are.
15-11. Samson. I'm surprised the Hebrew boys have really stuck it out here.
Who would you vote for? Because you always ask me.
I don't know. I don't know if I had to vote, if these two would have made it for me. What's the vote for? So, Ivy, great to have you. So, we're voting for,
Ivy.
we're kind of doing this quasi-tournament of Bible people. Who is the most relatable when it comes to 21st century? So, of these two characters, who to you is most relatable? Or the story of the Hebrew boys? Or is the story of Samson more relatable to us as a 21st century believer, and sort of kind of comparing it that way? And Esteban, with a lot of creativity and serious thought, gave us the story of Samson in emojis. So at 15-13 here, Samson has come back a little bit. And I should give Esteban an extra vote just for the creativity of the emoji story. Even through the honeybee in there and the lion. Very nice. Although Delilah with the red lips, that's interesting. But shout out to Esteban for his creativity. Wow, Liz bringing Samson back into it, 15-14. This one's turning out to be a toss-up here. I don't know. Looking back at my bracket, I think I would have probably... Wow, Brant Nielsen says Samson. So we have it tied up. I'm really shocked at this here. Guys, that this is pretty much a toss-up.
Okay, but between those two, who would you vote for?
Between these two, who would I vote for? I'll wait to the end of the vote because I don't want to sway the vote. I'll tell you, but I don't want to sway the vote. 16-15.
Do you think you'll sway the vote?
No, I just don't want people to think, I don't want my opinion to... 16-15 Hebrew boys has a slight lead. Polls are closing in 15 seconds here. The Hebrew boys are in the lead by 1. So if you're a Samson fan, you might want to call your sister, your mother, your grandmother, and have him vote, because it looks like he might be going down with the house. 16-15 here. Not sure if Samson... Oh, wow. Wow. Debbie Owens brings Samson back to 16-16. 16-16.
All right, you vote and I'll vote.
Oh. I would probably... 17-16.
Oh, actually,
yes,
no.
we did, Garley. We get
no,
it. Ari.
18-16.
Okay.
Because Ari and Sheila...
No, we got Ari's vote in the beginning. So we did. I did
I
count her.
didn't
I
see
remember
Ari.
seeing her. She was at the very beginning.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So Samson has a 1 show. We're gonna give Samson the slight edge here in the victory. And I tell you what, honestly, I'm not surprised that this was so close because I think both of these have a compelling argument for relatability. Sort of the idea of Samson and redemptive story. Seth says Samson. So Seth, you're the final vote. We'll give Samson the win there. I'm actually.
Way to go, Seth.
I think Samson speaks because so many of us feel like we've made mistakes, and the idea that you can make a mistake and get back to, not get back up is so relatable. But we live in such a peer pressure world. Paul says Samson. Paul has spoken. So Paul, you are now. Yes, I do feel like I'm putting a sports commentator. I think it's really hard. This is why this one was really close to me. Samson is the redemptive story. I think people nowadays need sort of that message of hope that there's a second chance. But also, we live in a world of massive peer pressure, and standing up for what's right is getting increasingly more difficult. And I think the Hebrew boys have relatability to that. So to that measure, honestly, it really is sort of a split decision. We go to the judges card, and Samson ekes it out. Did you have an opinion one way or the other? Who would you have thought?
You never voted, so I'm not going to.
I would guess I would say Samson, just because of the fact I think the story of redemption is so powerful because it echoes to what we all believe for.
Ari, I love your comment.
So what
I would have said the same
Samson?
thing.
I think Samson's redemptive story is powerful, even though the peer pressure thing is huge. So it's hard. I mean, some of these from a relatability, it's really interesting. But I think Samson, to go so high and to go so far down, but to kind of end was really God is a God of second chances. Really, that's what he is. So Samson is an ultimate second chance guy, right? Yeah, so I'm glad God is a God of 54 chances because I'm on number 55 at this point. Two good, powerful juggernauts. Although I thought this, I feel like this one guy is the ultimate dark horse, but two amazing people and extremely relatable. We're getting into some big boys now that are really difficult. Job versus Joseph. Job is the ultimate story, right, of suffering. Everybody relates to that to some degree. Massive relatability. But Joseph, I mean, there's so much there to unpack with his. I don't know, but it's really hard to beat Job. I'm just going to let you know right now. Job is just a juggernaut, but I don't know. Jared says Joseph. 2 for Joseph. I should have stopped with Job. I feel like I threw Joel under the bus. 2 for Joseph. I know where you're going on this one, Kate. For this one. Wow. 3-1. 4-1. Wow, Joseph is 5-1. Wow, 5-2. John voted for Job in the very beginning, so John definitely 6-2, 7-2. Kelsey and Bailey, your dad is watching who you're voting for. 7-2, 7-3, 8-3. Again, this is the most relatable 9-3. Relatable person in the 21st century. Whose story is more relatable? It's 10-4. Help me count here, Kate, in case I miss it. 10-4 right now. 11-4.
You count Joseph, I'll count Job.
Okay. 12. I got 12. 13. 13 right now. Jared is giving a major plug for Joseph here. 14.
5.
So 14-5.
6. Oh, hi,
Andrew, what's up? Was that 15 now, right?
I don't know. You were supposed to be counting for
16,
Joseph.
17, 18. Wow. I'm actually surprised by this, truth be honest. I thought Job would have a strong...
so Job has 2.
2 there.
8.
17. Oh, 9. Here we go. What is Job up to now?
10.
Okay, so 11. 17-11. Job with a little bit of a comeback here. Come over to the Job side. We have cookies. So 17-11 is the current tally to this. I know you would probably. I know Job is sort of your Job vote there. 18 for Josephus. Joseph at 18. 19. Very good. I like Ivy. That's very good. Forgiveness of family. That's 20. Is that 19? So that makes it 20.
Yeah, but you know, it kind of like Job between God. Like it's like Job had the ultimate
showdown with
lost
God. Yeah.
everything, and I mean, God allowed him. Which I know you could say that about. I don't know. Just
this is 19, and what does Job have? 11. Ari's comment. You guys are making some awesome points. I really share your thoughts if you feel to do that. You guys have some really powerful thoughts, and I think everybody, this is an open forum we do here right at home. Everybody's opinion matters. So if you have a thought or something that speaks to you with one of these people, I love some of the insight you guys have. So feel free to share. So what are we at? 20-11. So in order to save time, we probably should go ahead and call it here. Actually, I'm surprised that wasn't closer than it was there. Job stood firm. I agree, John. It's hard. Again, I don't feel like after this is all done, we should all say this is the definitive thing.
yeah.
I mean, to me, this is just more of an interesting take on different perspectives.
Yeah, and I love that though. I love the different perspectives people give. It just
because I tell you, depending on what day I'm at and where I'm at in my life and what month it is, I might vote differently. There's some days I would have voted for Joseph, some days I probably voted for Job, depending on where I'm at. So if I'm going through some intense time, the Hebrew boys might get my vote, and other days I might have gone Samson. I think it really shows different parts and stages of life if you really want to go that deep. Okay, last one to determine the champion of this side of the Old Testament bracket. I feel like this one might be just a landslide, but who knows? I've been wrong a bunch. To me, this is not close.
no, not at all.
So I will say, here we go. Great, John, so true. Here it is for the champion of this side of the bracket. We have Joseph versus, look like I got a little glare there. Joseph versus the Hebrew boys. So this is the ultimate winner's bracket. The Hebrew boys, against all odds, have made it this far, but they have a tall task to defeat Joseph here tonight, my friends. Joseph with 3 strong muscles for extra credit. Joseph is 3-0. Any love for the Hebrew boys? Speak now. Thank you, Caleb. 3-1, 4-1. Again, relatability to the 21st century. No, Samson lost. Oh, you're right. Timeout.
That's what I'm thinking.
Hold the horses.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you, Kathy. I wrote down the wrong thing.
Like, wait a minute.
Sorry.
How did they get back in the mix?
See, you guys are paying attention.
Although, honestly,
Sorry,
but
folks.
Job would have smashed Samson.
But it was just the way the bracket showed up. Because eventually Job would have to face Joseph anyways.
I still think this is
Sorry.
a landslide.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you,
Paying
Kathy.
attention. I messed up on my little notes over here. Does this change any of your votes? So far, Joseph is winning.
Well, yeah, for those that voted for the Hebrew.
For the Hebrew boys, would you go to Samson's side or would you go to Joseph's side now? I apologize. Man, where was I at? So I'm sorry. Hebrew boys got knocked out by old Samson. Thank you, Kathy, for being a part. So, thank you for seriously, I don't know. I had my pencil covering up
I don't know if it's keep us
the last one.
Keep you honest. I think just keep you on track.
Yeah, this is
Keep you
great. I'm glad we're
structured.
invested in this. We're invested. I wish I had Steve Harvey's teeth. He has beautiful teeth and the best mustache ever. I think it's Joseph. I think Joseph. Yeah, I think I'm going to call this because we'll be here all night. I mean, it really is a no-brainer. So for the winner of this bracket, we're going to go with Joseph, and he will face the winner of the next bracket, which we'll get started here now. So we're now officially done that side. We had 16 people, whittled it down to 1, and the winner of all of those was Joseph. And just to recap real quick, because I think this is kind of cool, Joseph beat out Abraham, Rahab, Job, Joel, Saul, Daniel, Deborah, Jacob, the Hebrew boys, Judah, Isaiah, Sarah, Solomon, Adam and Eve, and Samson. So, not that this is official, but just in case you're keeping score at home and you want to recap on tonight's.
We still haven't gotten to some particulars, so.
I personally, my wife and I, we really had this serious discussion last week about this when it's all done. I think there's a couple in here that are just absolute juggernauts. I mean, Joseph's in the Final Four. Yep, you're right, Joe. Call it out now. All right.
Oh, you keep getting kisses from Nathaniel.
Oh, Nathaniel, what is up, my friend,
that's
man?
so sweet. Oh, Michelle, give him a kiss back.
Thank you, Nathaniel. All right, let's get this rolling. We're now on a new side of the bracket. We'll start off with
See ya.
with one. We're doing we have slotted these in case you're wondering how we're doing these. I don't know if this
no.
March Madness surprise. That's right, Ivy. We are here to provide you with your. We should have taken side bets to this. All right, first one: David versus Aaron. King David, of course, the king of relatability. I mean, I think David. All right, Esteban, you are fantastic. Esteban is going to give us a breakdown of the story of all the Bible stories in and you have that lip thing going on there a lot, Esteban. Do we need to talk about that? David versus Aaron. David is just such a massive juggernaut of relatability. I mean, there's just, come on, man. My wife and I were talking about last week.
How did you pair these two?
Because I went from 16 and I try to make it so that it's the bottom seed versus the top seed like a real tournament. So the further we get in this, the more we should get more competitive. That's what I thought. I'm going to go ahead and call it because it's just to save us time tonight. I mean, it's sort of a no-brainer, really. A lot of these on this will be a no-brainer. This is my favorite matchup, though.
Joe, I think you're the only one that voted for Aaron.
Sorry, Joe. Polls closed quickly on you that time. This is the ultimate one. This is the 8-9 seed. We're using a 16-team bracket here. This is actually really interesting just because if you know the story of these two, it's actually quite hilarious that I just thought it was funny to pair these two against each other because this is actually quite interesting. 8 versus 9 for the right to play King David will be Elijah versus Elisha. Both of them have quite interesting stories. Both of them sort of have the Jezebel thing thrown in there. You've got the dumping water on the altar stuff. You've got some interesting things there. You have even the kind of the back and forth between both of them, sort of the mantle thing. But I don't know if you can really say one, but sort of 1-1, 2-1 Elijah. We're getting there, Kelsey. 3-1 Elijah.
Kelsey, you and I think I was the same way.
3-2, 3-3, 4-3 Elisha. Wow. 4-4. I'll do Elijah. You do Elisha.
No, I was going to vote for Elijah.
Okay, so 5.
Why are we?
4. I was saying being vote count.
Oh, okay.
6-5 Elijah. 7-5 Elijah.
That.
I'll do Elijah.
I'll do Elisha.
Yeah.
So Elisha's 5.
I've got a 7. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. Oh no, we lost the voting.
Okay.
Okay, you got 2 more, so it's tied up.
So 7, 8.
8. I got 7. 8. 8 to 8.
9.
10. I got 9. Elijah's 9.
11.
Oh, wow. I like that. That's good, Cody. It's interesting. Good take on that. Oh, that would be Elijah.
See, that was my thought, Esteban.
That's good. A very good point, Elijah Esteban.
Because Elijah's like the original.
So I don't know where we are. I lost count. I think it's 13-11 Elisha, I believe, if I'm correct on this.
Yes.
Polls are closing here quickly. Elisha, which one was that transfiguration? Elijah. Boy, this is getting into some serious deep back and forth. Y'all are hilarious. So Elisha is a 1-vote lead. I got to close the vote here because we'll be all night waiting. Facebook needs to speed up the process here. Let's see if we get one more vote in, depending if we can get one more on this. This is riveting. Kate's even, she's very riveted tonight.
I'm sorry. No, stop. You can.
Oh! That's not a vote. That was actually an answer to the question posed by Sister Cheryl there. So we still have a 2-vote Elisha over Elijah lead. So we're going to call it, because we're getting, we're going to say Elisha by slight victory here, just to save time, because I think when they get up next to the next little, they'll get crushed. So it might be a moot point anyways. All right.
No, because Regina voted, so it was just one difference.
1 vote different. But I think the next, they go against David, and I think we must just keep doing it. So anyways, real quick, we're trying to get to at least the first wave of this. This should be another easy one.
Why didn't you do 2 and 15?
Because it's the way the bracket works that they all come together. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I've pulled this off official 16-team bracket setup off of Google, because Google's always right. Joshua, and the other one is, again, relatability here should be pretty simple. But Jeff Smith is back. Jeff Smith, 1 vote tonight, man. None of that 16-vote thing going on. We're watching you. Joshua versus Jeremiah. Oh, Devin C, what's up? What's going on? They're hanging out with us. If you don't know what's going on, to recap, we are having this sort of quasi-tournament of who is the most relatable Bible person of the 21st century, and we're kind of doing it like tournament style. So if you just see the board, we put the matchup up there, and you give a vote, and then whoever goes on to the next round to face off. So far, we've already done one side of the bracket, and Joseph.
Old Testament.
And this is Old Testament. So we're doing 2 16-person tournament of the Old, and then 2 of the New. And again, it's not about theology, more about relatability. And Joshua is, I'm going to call it, because that's just poor Jeremiah. Jeremiah, it was good to have you, buddy, but it's not going to work out. You might have to just... Thank you, Gene. You gave Jeremiah some love, but I'm not sure Jeremiah's going to be able to hang in there. So for time's sake, and again, this is just so cool because it's about relatability. We're taking theology off the table. We're taking sort of all this stuff that sort of we get caught up in. And really, I think what we're trying to do is also, this is actually really cool about it, you as someone who walks with Jesus or desires to walk with Jesus, you don't have to have the flashing lights to make an impact. A lot of these people that we're voting for, their story was very small in the grand scheme of Scripture. Like last time, Abraham didn't win, even though Abraham is the father of all believers. We went with the Hebrew boys made it past farther than Abraham. So, anyways, I'm going to make sure now Kathy's watching I get this right. This is a good one. Here. This is the 5-12 matchup. Oh, am I running out of ink? The 5-12 matchup is Jonah because we all feel like we're caught in a fish some days. And Rachel, our first woman contestant of the night. Wilma, how are you doing? Good to have you. So 1 vote, Jonah. And again, this sort of theme we saw kind of play out in the last bracket, which is what we talked about a lot, was the redemptive story is very relatable. It felt like the people that had messed up and got back up, not to sound, really played strong. But Rachel comes out strong twice. 3. Wow. Or you feel the love for the woman over this one, Kate?
I don't know yet, honestly.
3-1, Rachel. 3-2, Jonah with a little bit of 4-2. Jonah's still stuck in that fish. 4-3. 5-3, Rachel. With a little bit of, if you ever watch NCAA, you always know that 12-5 matchup is the trickiest one. 5-3, 6-3. 6-4, I'm sorry, I missed it. 7-4. 8-4. So 8-5. I'm curious. Someone give me your take on why Rachel. Mm-hmm. We really like, this is part of what we're doing this for. Tell me why Rachel. We're at 10-7, 10-8. Give me not just your vote, but give me your reason behind your vote. 11-8. Because you might just say Rachel because she's a woman, and that's fine. I'm not saying that's bad, but maybe a little depth of why you're choosing Rachel, and what was it about her story that is so relatable to us in 2021? And I'm really curious to know this. I don't say that as that sounds like I'm being a little bit of a condescending. I don't really. I'm curious because there was such a strong. We're at 13-11 for Rachel, and I was actually surprised she went through it. Jonah was a jerk. There's a lot of relatability there. But Jeff said Rachel went through it. So I think Rachel's story and the magnitude of her story is probably not, we don't know it as well because Jonah gets all the pub because he spent 3 nights on a... Oh, that's hilarious. Don't get us started on that conversation. That train wrecked us tremendously. Oh, we got to get off the Maryland being that's so true. See, I like that, Ivy. It's true. She was a strong female, and sort of this, female power is a very relatable thing right now. Oh, well, this is good. Jonah's coming back a little bit. We're at 14, 12, Jonah here. 14-12, Rachel with a little bit of an upset here. Brett, we let that comment slide by. That was a juicy one. If you guys were on Right at Home, what was that night we got on that?
Oh, I don't know.
That was
I think we've gotten on it a couple times.
Yeah, we didn't help out the Maryland Chamber of Commerce with that. We kind of Governor Hogan sent me a letter the next day and told me not to talk anymore.
Tasha says she only chose her because she was against Jonah.
Oh, nice. That's good. Okay, see, there you go. So it might be based. I'm going to go with Rachel because it's a slight lead there in really. Now this is cool. This is actually one of my favorite ones of the first round. Because I think this is really cool. I'm actually a little excited. This is the 3 versus 14. I'm actually really interested to see this play out. And this tournament may take us 7 months to complete at this rate. This is a good one. You think?
No.
Oh, Kate says no. I thought this was actually quite interesting. Kate says no. Moses and Gideon. Relatability here. Gideon has a really sort of I'm a nobody, but God thinks I'm a somebody story. Moses has a lot of his story to unpack from sort of the whole, he sort of had the same kind of, if you don't know the story, they kind of had sort of a similar experience because Moses had the burning bush where God basically told him, I'm going to send you back, and he didn't want to go, and because all his shortcomings. And Gideon had this ultimate, I'm hiding behind the wine press, but God kind of gave him the kick in the pants and said, you're a mighty man. 4-3.
5-3. No, 5.
5-3. 5-4.
I thought I saw 5.
5-5. Gideon gets a vote for fleecing. 6-5 Gideon. 6-6.
Yeah, but Moses is kind of similar though.
7-6 Gideon. 8-6 Gideon. I think the problem with Moses is he had a lot more triumphs. 8-7 Gideon. 8-8. This is actually a very tight. 9-8 Moses.
But also too, the
10,
stakes were much higher though for like.
10-9.
It was
true.
It was higher for Moses. I mean, he
11-9.
really had to step out there.
11-10.
God was kind of merciful to give
12
him
to
those
10.
triumphs. But honestly, to go up against the things he had, like that was, he had to lead. It was
Yeah.
just, especially a guy who handled so much insecurity to be able to. It just, I don't know.
12. We got 14-12. 15-12. 16-12. And granted, this is interesting. Gideon's self-perception. I understand what you're saying.
Yes, but he was raised as a
16
normal
and 13.
person.
Who was?
So Moses, he was raised as just like anybody else. He wasn't.
Well, he was raised in Pharaoh's house, though, from that
I guess,
standpoint.
yeah, I guess, but I don't know. It was just.
But he had some serious self-esteem issue.
Well, yeah, he just had. I don't know.
Because when he got to the whole burning bush, he had some serious self-esteem issues.
I guess. I don't know.
16-15 is the current total. Debbie, what? I can see that. Too much of a superhero. I think that's a true. Okay, Esteban. Are you getting this offline or are you making these up? 17-15.
I know. I know. I guess maybe. I guess I was thinking though, just inwardly. I guess he never felt like. Yes, he was raised in it, but he never. No, he always had that. I don't know.
18-15 Gideon.
I don't know. I guess most.
But I think the point made, and maybe that's the relatability factor, is Moses had such a high ceiling that we feel like he's way above us, whereas Gideon, he had such an amazing victory, but he didn't get so far away that we feel like that's something we can achieve. Versus Moses, a guy like walked across the Red Sea. It's sort of like, I don't know. I don't think there's a right. I think I would have gone with Moses because of sort of the burning bush experience.
But I love the different perspectives. I like this. I love this part. I love to see the different what everyone thinks.
Now that is a very true statement, Esteban. For those of you that the Bible does show more of Moses' flaws than Gideon. The one flaw we see in Gideon is sort of this moment we are introduced to him, but we don't really see the rest of his flaws. He did fleece God, yes, but Moses, the dude was in some ways a train wreck as much as he was a superhero. Because in the end, he did some dumb stuff. Even though he did get to the mountain and his face glowed and he brought down 2 tablets that were written by the hand of God. Some amazing stuff. But he did have some moment. But just for time's sake tonight, we're probably going to call it and give the slight edge here to Gideon.
I love this, you guys. I love it. Just reading the back and forth on the two.
Yeah. So, there you go, his transfiguration. But this is really cool. This is the problem with the transfiguration, though. It's more theological than it is relatable, and that's so. I agree with you. From a theological, you got to throw Moses at the top because Gideon theologically doesn't really play much into the story. Moses is sort of the giver of the first 5 books. But this is why we decided to go relatability versus theological, because theological, you'd pretty much end up with Moses and Abraham and a couple of the normal characters. Whereas in this situation, Gideon, who was smaller in his sample size was more relatable to us because of sort of the fabric of his story, if you want to call it this way. And we are getting really deep in the weeds here.
I love it though. No, this is good.
I'm trying to get to the end of the first round here, and I'm trying to see. Okay, real quickly, 6 versus 11, and your favorite, one of your favorite dark horses is now coming onto the scene, Kate. You are bringing your dark horse onto the stage.
Oh.
I know where you're going.
But don't say.
Well, they're going to know.
Do you think so?
Oh, yeah. I think they're going to know who it was. Ezekiel, Mr. Drybone, a.k.a. Can These Bone Live himself, Ezekiel, and then Hannah, Give Me Children Lest I Die. And share with them what you said last week about the relatability of Hannah, sort of just in her story, because you made a really good point when you brought it up. Just the fact of she wanted something so bad, but in the end she was willing to give it up.
And yeah.
That really speaks to something.
Yeah.
Hannah just, okay. The only thing, okay, Ezekiel, because he makes good bread. Oh, man. Actually, we do have some Ezekiel bread upstairs in the fridge right now. But, wow. Hannah. Oh, this is bad. This is an epic knockout. I'm going to call it, folks. I'm going to go ahead and call this. And even though Ezekiel does have the bread and the dry bones, for relatability, Hannah looks like this is a quick landslide. So, for sake of time,
and we had forgotten about her. She wasn't on.
Oh no, Kate brought her in.
She was not on our original list. We forgotten about her story.
And very relatable. Her desperation, very relatable. Again, relatability. Hannah's relatability of her desperation, her sort of oppression is huge. These two, he saw aliens. Very good. All right, 2 more matchups before we call it a night here, folks. And honestly, I know some of you probably it's not your cup of tea. This is actually really interesting to me.
Oh, I love it.
This has been so much fun because it really is showing how you guys see the Bible in your own eyes. All right, here we go. This is a good one. One here. And this guy is a little bit of a dark horse. And his relatability may not be there at first glance, but I think from the standpoint of his relatability here is we got a matchup here of Esther and Enoch. Now, Enoch is not quite the depth of scripture knowledge, but don't forget the thing that makes Enoch relatable is he walked with God and was not because God took him. That's sort of what we get for Enoch. He walked with God. That's very relatable because it feels like a lot of days I'm just walking. Whereas Esther, obviously her story is tremendous. Do you know the powerful story about Esther? Here's a little nugget. Do you know the name of God is not mentioned in the story of Esther? So we don't see the name of God mentioned, but we know God was there. So even though we don't hear his name mentioned, we see his power woven in the story. So sometimes when we don't see God face to face as if he's there, he's still working. And Esther's story kind of tells us that in the story of Esther, you don't see the name of God mentioned. So where's God? But if you read the story of Esther, it's easy to see that God is all over the story. And Esther is, poor Enoch, was good to have you tonight, but it might not last for you very long. So I'm going to call it, it was a quick one.
Can you finish?
I'm sorry, that bugs you?
Yeah.
Oh.
And you have something there.
Okay, sorry. And that is Esther. And the last one for the night, because apparently this is going to be a 7-month series on Right at Home, is, again, relatability. And Kelsey, here's your 2 verses 15. And this one actually might be closer than I thought. And here we go. Last one of the night. Isaac and Ruth. Isaac and Ruth, sort of the kinsman redeemer, sort of the, here's this woman who had no place but found a place in the lineage of Jesus Christ, sort of an ordinary thing, but by just sheer hunger, she pulled herself into the lineage of Christ. I mean, that's just, I mean, she was a nobody and became epic in that, and it looks like that makes her very relatable. 4 to 1, 5 to 1, 6 to 1. Actually, it might not be close. 7 to 1, 8 to 1, 9 to 1. Ruth, would you go on with Ruth?
Yeah.
10 to 1, and 11 to 1. And I guess the real thing about this is, again, story will never not feel cringy to me. 12 to 2, 13, 14 to 2. I think the hard part to me about Isaac is his story is powerful from a theological standpoint, but is there relatability to him in his story? What is there relatable to? I'm not saying he's not, but his story is not quite the relatability because he's the promised child. And yes, he was sort of the lamb. I mean, he was trying to be sacrificed by his dad. And some of us felt like our father tried to sacrifice us somewhere along the line. But I don't know. Ruth destroyed Isaac. So we're going to call it a night on that one, which gives us sort of an interesting, there's some powerful women in this bracket. So next week, if you choose to join us again and bring your friends with you for more votes, or open up more Facebook accounts to get more votes for yourself. Next week,
I'm not
that's funny. Very funny. You guys are awesome. Does anybody? Oh, this is hilarious. So we have next week. The odds are getting interesting. Next week we have David versus Elisha, Joshua versus Rachel, Gideon versus Hannah, and a really powerful Esther versus Ruth matchup. So take some time this week. Catch up on these stories so you can give a more in-depth vote next week. Because I bet you it's been a while since you read the story of Rachel and the story of Hannah and maybe the story of Ruth. So I want to watch Randy after the show discussing the game. There you go, Randy.
Randy can follow up.
Yes, you can be the follow-up there. You can subscribe to Randy's Dueling Cut and Trim here on YouTube. He's a great, but anyways, Randy will have the post-game show afterwards, giving the, homework. There you go, Jeff. Go find out some of these stories and look at them. It's interesting though, in all seriousness, look at these stories through relatability instead of theology and see if it changes your viewpoint on the story. Like read the story of Ruth or Hannah or Rachel or, we sort of know Gideon, or read them from a relatability standpoint and see if it changes how you read it versus sort of reading it within the fabric of the Bible. We're a long way from food discussion now. We've got months and months about food, but we haven't been doing much food lately. So apparently everyone's coming to Right at Home already have eaten, because none of you have talked about food as much. Because some of these guys had some really interesting food references, sort of the fact of, anyways, so.
It'll be good next week.
It's getting interesting. And then ultimately, we'll get into the New Testament. I think to me the New Testament has some legit juggernauts, but then it has some dark horses there.
Sorry, looking at some of the comments, I definitely with some of the cultures and the way that things were back then, it's definitely, you have to kind of dig because it's definitely not of today.
No, it's definitely not. You have to look beyond sort of the text. Again,
No, food is not, Kelsey, our next bracket.
we could do a snack food bracket. Cheesecake.
We've already kind of done that.
But we could do the ultimate snack food bracket. So we could see, like, you know, are Oreos better than Cheez-Its?
Yes.
Yes. I agree with you on that. That's an easy one.
Oreos are better.
Oreos are always better than Cheez-Its.
Yes.
So,
are Oreos better than Nestle's chocolate chip cookies?
ooh. See, the problem with that answer, not to bore you with our commentary, the problem with if Oreos are better than Nestle cookies is, are you talking about them as a solo? Are you talking about their ability to, like, Oreos can be paired really well, but I don't know. Cookies, chocolate chip cookies are my weak. That's my kryptonite.
Oh no, Randy Doolin.
What did he say?
That's right. Women don't know how to respect.
Oh
women.
dear God, Randy,
Oh, Randy.
you might want to pull off now.
Oh, trust me, I have dug some deep. The Lord
no.
hasn't even let me begin to speak on this yet, but I'm telling you right now, it's coming.
Oh no!
I'm telling you, it's
Quick,
coming.
Randy, pull the ripcord, brother.
serious.
We gotta go. Okay, right at home. Sign it off.
My ears are burning.
By the way, Brant, what's the #1 place to live in the USA?
Oh my gosh, we're talking food.
Oh, he's saying the bracket would be the #1 place to live in the USA.
I say Oreos too.
Do you realize that all 10% of all cookies sold at the grocery store are
Rita,
Oreos?
do you really believe that?
Wow, Rita, you might be on your own on that one.
Oh, Rita.
God bless you, though,
Yes,
if you believe
I'm
that.
serious.
Seriously.
I want
Pray
to.
for the rest of us.
We do, but no, we do pray that. We did. We were actually just talking about that and praying.
We did.
But yeah.
Jesus not answering my prayer right now.
No, he's not.
I wish you'd hurry up.
It's part of the dying process.
We are derailing quickly. But I want to pull the flaps here before it gets too.
Oh yes, Sister Cheryl.
Oh no!
You guys.
Oh no!
We might
Randy,
need to cut.
Randy,
I'm
you have
telling
you have opened up the floodgates, Randy.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, wait a minute. Let me just end with this. Yes, men and women with the respect, but let's talk about love.
Oh God!
Let's talk about love. How many men
God.
actually know how to love? Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
She took the phone from Randy.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that. Very true. She took the phone from Randy. Oh man, that's hilarious. Michelle, she has revoked your.
Hey, I've got some Bible on this.
Oh,
stuff.
no.
This is not
Oh,
Caleb's
no.
opinion.
Oh, no.
I've got some Bible.
Oh,
and I've
no.
been looking up this stuff.
Oh Jesus, be the
This is
feds right
definitely.
now.
I'm sorry.
I need a
Yeah.
COVID
We
shield.
need Ed.
I need a COVID shield quick.
Hey, no. This is not about you.
I know, but I feel like I'm a
about
male,
you.
and right now the female population is rising up, and this could get really hot for us.
Yeah, no.
Oh God. Thank you, Randy. Appreciate that. Oh. Oh my goodness. Duh. We do need some kumbaya quickly.
No,
Dear gracious.
it's not. But, I mean, come on.
Oh Lord. We better go back to Oreos and chocolate chip cookies.
Actually, we did have some votes on that. We had a lot of people say Oreos. I didn't see anything for Nestle.
Yeah, I think Oreos crush it. 10% of all cookies, I read this the other day or saw this. 10% of all cookies sold to the grocery store are Oreos.
Oh, and because they're just
And do you know that an Oreo was, yeah, where do you need Vic Jolin? No, we don't need Vic Jolin. No, we don't. He would not help this argument out.
Oh, no. Actually, it'd be good. Oh, yeah.
It would be, yes, we all need a marriage seminar, Paul. Yes, quickly.
No.
And prayer.
Wait a minute.
But
This
no,
is
I'm
not
talking
a
about from
marriage
Randy.
seminar.
Yes, Randy, thank you.
This is not a marriage seminar.
But
That's
Randy stirred up the pot.
Because so many times it's always the woman, and I'm sorry. There's things that the Lord spoke for the man to do.
I'm not arguing on that.
Sorry.
I wasn't arguing.
I need to go. Jesus and I, we're going to need to.
But you did throw Sarah under the bus last week, so.
I didn't mean to.
All right.
But the culture was very different. So I'm looking at it from a 20th century. It was very different back then.
True. True.
I don't know. I think she didn't do her duty as a wife to help her husband.
Look, Ari's got you. She even gave you all caps.
I know, but it took the women so long. Ari's the only one.
Well,
so
that's not
I'm
true.
I'm always left hanging. So it's
Gluten-
okay. It's
gluten-free Oreos. Did you know that?
No.
Wow.
Sister Melva, I did not know they had gluten-free Oreos. Bailey, there you go.
Wow. Do you guys know that the Oreo was a knockoff of a cookie called the Hydrox? So
Yeah.
the original one was made by.
And the reason I say that is because I
we
watched
just
the documentary.
It was
with
called
you.
the Hydrox. It was the first sandwich cookie ever made, and then Nabisco, who was the
Sister
big
Ivy,
player
I'm
on the
working on that.
on the market.
I would love to have a bunch of the women at my house.
I'm not going to be here.
No.
Randy, that's good, man. What did Randy say? On behalf of Randy, I'll read it for you. Randy would like to take a moment, apologize to all the women out there. I was wrong with what I said. I will do better. As he's got his arm twisted behind him by his wife saying, you better apologize.
Or maybe Michelle is texting that.
Your Michelle is lighting you up now. So, anyways, all right, this was fun. But we do, after the Bible, we should do the ultimate snack bracket. But maybe not 64. We might just keep it to 16.
No.
So, and then we could do like some ultimate. We might have found a new niche here right at home. We are the ultimate. Randy doesn't want to be canceled. Too late. Oh, anyways, all right.
No, we love you, Randy.
We're over time, and we probably should go before our night. Ralph, gluten-free Oreos.
I'm telling you guys, I gotta try this. Bailey, did you know about gluten-free Oreos?
Wow, we're
That's
learning
cool.
stuff. Randy Doolin under duress. Oh, out of the doghouse.
Oh, good.
Oh,
okay.
this is good.
Good. Everything's okay with Randy.
Whoa,
Michelle.
John Lombardo, you cannot believe that. Okay, I was about to sign off, but John Lombardo just made a comment that you cannot really believe. John, do you really believe that?
Although, wait a minute. John, thank you so much again. I know I texted you, but thank you so much again for those. I think those are literally my favorite chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
And I ate them all. My kids, I think, had one or two, but they were so good. You guys, John Lombardo sent me a really sweet care package of flowers and amazing goodies. And oh my goodness, that pineapple upside down cake, so good. But
see what happens.
I'm serious.
Those
Those chocolate chip cookies, you started it.
I was
thank
trying
you
to.
so,
Okay.
I mean that sincerely.
Yeah.
Those are amazing. I think those are my ultimate favorite of anything.
Yeah.
As far as cookies go. So thank you again.
Well, apparently we're getting a gluten-free help here.
No, I
so
know
if you're
that, but
gluten-free,
sometimes, Brian, with the gluten-free products,
double stuffed gluten-free. Wow.
you rarely see like
Sean.
major brands. It's usually some, like not off-brand, but a different brand. But I didn't know that Oreo had them.
Wow.
That's amazing.
John Lombardo backs it up and says, yes, he does believe that, and I am shocked. But,
Wow.
well, we'll have
That's
to,
okay.
that's another discussion for another day. So, anyways, good to have all of you tonight. Oh, Lord.
They're good, you guys. Oh, they're so good. Oh.
So, anyways, thank you for everybody. Giving up our fitness goals. If they come out with the mega stuff, I'm giving up the fitness goals. The food bracket be a question. That's interesting. Who suggested a food bracket? That's hilarious. Anyways, all right. Hope you guys have a good week. Come back next week. Next week. Be with us. We got to finish this bracket out. Then we get into the good New Testament. See if we can find out more there. But the winner tonight for the first part of the Right at Home Relatability Bible Person Tournament. I don't know if that's. We got to come up with a long acronym. Was Joseph, and we're neck deep into round 2 of part 2, and then we'll move on to the New Testament sooner or later. So, anyways, have a good week. Go out to your local grocery store, find some gluten-free cookies, and wave them in the air for Bailey like you just don't care. So, anyways.
Angela, that sounds amazing. Yes, the Doolin family, we love you so
yes, the Doolin family from
much.
the Doolin
Fun,
compound.
you guys.
So, everybody, have a good week. Stay safe.
Yes, have a great week. We love you guys.
Come back, be with us again next week. We're having fun. Figure out who is the most relatable Bible character, Bible person, 21st century. One more step at a time. Have a good week. Signing off. Who wants Kate to wear a hat again next week? I'm voting for the hat. We're voting for the hat. Take it easy.
See you guys.
Have a good week.